Good morning, Lacers. How's it going? Bonnie Violet here, a queer chaplain, and today is daily life number 22 as part of the lacing your narrative with the spiritual thread. Sorry about that. That was so rude of me. And we are discussing when was a time that we felt or we didn't feel spiritual, we didn't feel connected to God, we didn't feel like we could access that spiritual part of ourselves or reach towards something bigger outside of us or within us, kind of the reaching for our higher self. I think that one of the things that's really harmful that I think has kept me a lot of the times, it's kept me or caused me to believe that, like, shame, basically. I was interviewing Flamey Grant last night, and I think this is a lot of our narratives where we are told that something about us is wrong, it's sinful, it's something that's not like right in the eyes of God or whatever. So it's like, for many folks maybe that are watching this or coming across this, it's around your sexuality. And we do everything we can to try to change that. And I think that process of, I guess, living in that change and fighting that can maybe be like, I don't know if that's about connecting closer to God, really. I don't know if in those moments I was feeling really connected or close to. If anything, I was probably feeling pushed away, further from, and distanced. And I mean, I just don't think that that's what spirituality is all about. I don't think that's what God's all about. I think it is all about, like, whatever it is, whatever this higher energy, higher self, this thing that connects us all. I think it's something that connects us all. It's something that's working toward our unification and our connection, not our separation and our distance from ourselves, from parts of ourselves, from each other, from even God or whatever the heck it is. So I don't think that the shame thing, like, shame is not of, I guess if I want to get all like technical, I think shame is the devil. I don't think that that's something that God puts on us or the divine, or I don't think that that's healthy spirituality. And that's one of the things that, well, and it's just like, I mean, I used to work in, well, y'all know I've worked in disease prevention, HIV prevention, STDs, those sorts of things. And, fear only goes so far in actual behavior change. And it's usually not helpful in the long run, because over time that behavior change might not change. And yet then that person didn't die of AIDS, or they didn't get infected with this, or maybe they, maybe things didn't, the worst outcomes did not happen because of that, because, it just didn't happen. And so then you go for so long without having that bad result or symptom or that thing that you were trying to avoid. The longer you go and then you don't have those bad results, then the more you become comfortable and think, well, maybe this isn't something I need to be worried about, or you become complacent. So even if we're looking at like behavior change around health outcomes, it's not helpful. So shaming is not a good way, I think, to draw people closer to God. So I think it's a horrible strategy in trying to bring people into a spiritual way of life and a spiritual way of being. So I think there's a lot of folks who, a big part of their, I think, ministry or what they do is to bring somebody into a certain fold and a certain belief and a certain understanding. And this, we can even look at politics, or we can look at religion, or we can look at a lot of groups and that are trying to help you, I guess, see the world that they see it. And so shaming tends to be like a way of trying to get you to, I don't know, think differently. And I don't think that that's really helpful in the long run. I think it's lazy. I think being able to actually have a real conversation about it all is a better way. Like, I think I've talked about it a little bit too, and with hi Tina, I see you're on there. Talked with my aunt when we were talking about fear and being, I get fearful of something, and then so my result is to learn as little as possible. It's not like to get more information, because once I get more information, it maybe feels overwhelming, or it maybe feels like a lot. But actually, once I can get more information, then I can actually see more of the truth, like all of the truth, not just the scary parts, but all of it. Then it becomes a little bit actually easier to kind of move forward with. It doesn't seem so extreme, so scary. It's just like, oh, this is what it is. I can look at all that stuff and then decide to move forward with it. So I think shaming somebody is kind of in that same way of like, it's a fear response, or it's, you're trying to scare or fear that person, or make that person feel a certain way, instead of just saying, like having more of a conversation about everything. So Tina says you are correct. Shame is not something that God puts on us. Yes, it's not. It is what, I guess it's what we put on each other, or what we put on ourselves. I think that's definitely like a human thing. And in other language, again, it's like, it's the evil, it's the toxic things in life that are only going to harm us in the long run. I think shaming only works so far as well too. And then you spend so much wasted time and energy living in this space of shame and spiral that you actually don't live out. You're just not living as much and as deeply and as expressively, which I think is ultimately what we're all called to do. I think that's what humility is, about being right-sized, and sometimes it's about being bigger, like being full, or being more expressive, because I think many of us, for the most part, probably are a little, maybe do less. And it's not like an amount thing. It's not like I need to do 50 things instead of the 20 things I'm doing. Tina says, shame is a spiritual perspective that steals our joy and pursuit of our true purpose. We should not receive it from ourselves or the people around us. Amen. Yep. It's very, very well said. I want to say that again. Shame is a spiritual perspective that steals our joy and pursuit of our true purpose. We should not receive it from ourselves or the people around us. Thanks for that. I think that wraps it up real well. Hope that you all are doing well with thinking about this, thinking about when you feel less connected, or what takes you away from God, what takes you away from your spirituality, what takes you away from your higher self, your divine, your spirit, whatever words you choose to describe your experience, what pulls you from that? whether it still does or it has in the past. Just kind of spending some time on that this week. This afternoon at 5 o'clock, I do have the private Zoom room for folks who do want to join. I haven't had anyone show up for that yet, which is fine. But I am there if folks want to pop in for that. And I will also put the link to last night's interview with Flaney Grant, in which she does talk, she shares a lot about shame and a lot of how it's impacted a good chunk of her life as well. So it might be something to kind of listen to or watch to kind of help you think of sometimes that maybe you felt far away from your spirituality or God or what have you. And I will see you tomorrow at tomorrow I start my therapy again, so it will be 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, but I will see you then. Take care and have a blessed day. Bye.